we need to talk about a boy band who's begging for help. Why Don't We is a band made up of 5 guys. They are accusing their management of harming them in several ways. One of those being malnourishment. They have to get into a screaming match with their manager for a meal. We are going to review all of the evidence out there and talk about why this band deserves justice. So let's get into it. Before we dive in, I want to give you guys a disclaimer that I haven't heard of this band before, but nonetheless, they need our help. Why Don't We is a boy band that was formed in 2016. They've got 5 members: Jack, Corbin, Zach, Jonah, and Daniel. The band has released 2 studio albums and they're pretty popular. Unfortunately, the boys have been living in hell under their current management. They were quoted saying that they feel like they are hostages in their own home. And not only have they been emotionally harmed by their management, they also have been malnourished and haven't been fed properly. The boy band members shared this message on their social media pages and opened up about what they've been going through. So let's go ahead and break down that letter, and then after that, we're going to revisit evidence that shows that these boys aren't lying and that their managers are problematic men. The band writes, "As many of you are aware, the unfortunate truth of mental, emotional, and financial harm we have suffered at the hands of our production company has recently come to light. While our initial instinct was to wait for the storm to pass, we have matured to the point where we now realize that suffering in silence is no longer an option. It is not healthy for either of us or our fans. Without a doubt, publicly sharing our truth makes us feel more vulnerable. However, it is a step we are forced to take to provide the world with the access to the harsh behind the scenes that we have endured as young teens, where the verbal harm, malnourishment, and ultimate control were positioned at the price of success. We were 15 to 18 years old when we started the band. We were young, impressionable, and trusting, the result of being brought up in loving, supportive families. While we were initially excited to all be living together in the same house, working on what we loved the most, little did we know that we would eventually become prisoners in the Why Don't We compound, under the supervision of one of our managers at Signature Entertainment Partners. He would not only live with us during the day, but controlled us 24/7, setting an alarm that would go off if any door or window was open. Needless to say, we were not given the security code to the alarm, essentially making us hostages in our own home. Food was restricted to the point that some band members developed EDs. We had to sneak food in and hide it in our dresser. We were verbally harmed almost every day and alienated from our friends and our families. We had no support system except for each other and were made to believe that this was normal, that every artist had to pay their dues." So it sounds like they are being set up in a torturous situation where they're being convinced that, oh, you have to do this to be famous and successful and popular. And the fact that they're being locked up in their own home, like that just gives me so much anxiety. Unfortunately, this need for extreme dominance has played out for the duration of our careers in a variety of ways, not only physically and mentally, but also financially harming them. This is now playing out on the public stage in a continued attempt to weaponize our love for our music and our fans. We will no longer be silenced and look forward to finally closing this chapter on this traumatic stage in our lives by turning the page to our truth. Our commitment remains to our music, our label, and most of all, our fans, who we cherish and draw strength from as we find our way through this journey. Okay, so that was a lot to unpack, and they revealed a lot about their situation, and honestly, I appreciate the letter itself because it was written in a mature way, and honestly, I feel like anyone who reads that would take them very seriously and would be concerned for their well-being. So let's talk about who's managing these boys. So right here, they are pictured with both of their managers. The guy with the gray hair is named Randy Phillips, which you guys may recognize that name because he's very popular, but we'll talk about that in a second. second. The other guy, the guy that they really don't like, is named David Loeffler. He's right here with the brown hair and the gray shirt sitting down, and this is the man that has done so much to these boys that they are traumatized, that they are malnourished, and that all of these issues have really stemmed from him. Here's a better picture of that Randy guy, and like I said, you may recognize him because he was actually the manager that Michael Jackson had, and he was the one who was accused of helping set up Michael Jackson's, like, you know, how he passed away. So this guy is really sketchy in the entertainment industry, and I would be worried to be working with him, but it seems like he's the better guy in this situation. And it actually looks like Randy is suing David because of what David has done to these boys, because even though Randy is a sketchy guy, he's been somewhat kind to the boys, and it seems like they like him more than they like David. And actually, Randy is currently suing David because he wants David to leave the management company, and he's taking it to court. In Randy's legal complaint, his attorney reveals that David was living with the band at a rental property that had been secured for them to develop music. He claims that he engaged in nightmarish behavior, including daily verbal ABU, like harming them verbally, screaming at them at the top of his lungs, sometimes for 10 to 20 minutes, and reportedly forced the 5 members to share 2 small bedrooms, even though the house had a spare, unused bedroom that was upstairs. So it seems like this guy, David, just gets off of just like harming these boys. There has been an audio recording leaked to the public, and it's of David yelling at the youngest band member, Zach, because Zach wanted to order some salads or ordered some extra salads, and it's really concerning to hear because you see how the band members talk about malnourishment and not having proper food, and to hear that David is so aggressive over this boy ordering salads, it's really triggering. So I want to give you guys a trigger warning. I'm going to play a snippet of that audio, but listen to David go off on this boy because he wanted extra salad.
He's earned the right. The motherfucker been doing his entire life. He's made some most incredible things ever. If he wants to order 6 Caesar salads, he can. Zach has not earned the right. He's not Randy Phillips. I don't give a fuck how many times he sits next to him, he's not going to become Randy Phillips. And who the fuck does he think he is? And that pisses me the fuck off. Because he doesn't earn the right. That's what it comes down to.
Here we see it.
12 people at that table. And when I said it, I was like, hey, shut up, we didn't have it. He was smart, he ordered with me. This is a bigger problem. This is called raising kids. Why my son's a f***ing attorney right now at 25 years old at the biggest firm in Salt Lake City. Shut your f***ing ass, and he's winning. He's loving life. Thank you every day, my dad. His wife, who f***ing couldn't stand me, loves me, worships me, because their life is set. Because I pushed him to be the greatest he could be. And he wanted me to. And when one guy has to be, I won't sit there standing. If he wants to, no problem. Go ahead. But remove me. Because I'm not here to play favorites.
But the reality is, okay, when I understand how you feel, but
fuck the Caesar salad. In general, that's how it works.
But other things I can't answer. Okay. Okay. May I make a suggestion now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you and Zach.
We were fine. So you came into the world. No, order this. No. Have the fucking chocolate milk and a smoothie. Have that. Order what you want. Do something.
But Dave, wait a second. Chill for a second. Okay. Raising your voice doesn't make more.
No, I'm saying it just frustrates the
okay.
Out of me, man. It's the way I can live and leave my stress out.
No, I understand. Okay. But he's younger than the rest.
No! I'm leaving!
No, stop.
Say it again, I'm out of here, Andy. I'm out of here.
Dave, stop.
Wasn't that audio concerning? I mean, I don't understand how it got so personal for David. Like, it seemed like he was personally, like, offended that Zach wanted some extra salad. So there's definitely something wrong with this guy. There's actually a Twitter account that made a thread last year about some of the crap that this band was going through. I'm going to list it below, but I'm going to be pulling some information from this thread because I want to show you guys the damage that's been done. One of the band members named Jonah actually posted to his Instagram about his own ED, which you guys know we can't say the word on YouTube because of YouTube. YouTube rules and YouTube land, but eating issues, like, having a disordered because he was forced to eat really nothing under his management. Here is a photo of Jonah that he posted. Obviously, he looks pretty thin. Honestly, like when I was a young kid, like when I was like, 15 years old, I was like as thin as this. So it could be like a naturally thin thing, but it's not, because he's been open about the fact that he's been malnourished. He posted this on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, there was a time where my thoughts were in a very bad place when it came to my body. This industry can be harsh. I used to have tons of anxiety and would constantly look at photos of myself and not like how I looked, so I would skip meals or eat a little here and there. So of course, that is sick that this man is taking these teenage boys and messing with their mind and their emotions to make them believe that they aren't, content being themselves, that they need to be thinner and work harder to be successful. And it's not like these boys are making this up, because their manager, Randy, cited this in his lawsuit, claiming that the boys have been malnourished, leading to EDs for some of the members when they were only teens, only young boys already suffering with these issues because of the industry. But now, because Randy is suing David, David isn't happy and he's actually suing the boys. David is suing the band for breach of contract, and he's also suing Randy Phillips for interfering in their business relationship, because supposedly the boys were going to renew their contract with Atlantic Records, but they're not going to because of David. This situation is getting so messy with all the lawsuits, just trying to sue each other, which at the end of the day isn't going to solve anything. So the band is actually asking the Labor Commission for help with dropping their manager, because like I said, them suing each other, it's not really going to do anything at the end of the day. They really need someone else to come in and just remove David from this situation, because I guess like David is kind of breaching his contract by like harming these boys. That article we were just looking at wrote that the group filed a petition to get its contract with David thrown out, as the managers, David and Randy, face off with dueling lawsuits. So again, all these lawsuits going on, and it looks like the boys are going out and reaching out to the commissioner to try to get help. But honestly, if any of these guys happen to see this video, or if I could give them any piece of advice, I would also recommend getting rid of Randy too, because both David and Randy have a record, and Randy's isn't looking good. If you guys have not seen my video about Michael Jackson's passing, definitely go check it out, because there are clips of Randy pretty much admitting to, I don't know, setting up Michael Jackson's death, which obviously is really concerning, because as soon as he couldn't get what he wanted to out of Michael, he thought, you know what? Michael would be worth more if he wasn't here. So it makes me worried for these guys. But one of the band members, Daniel, actually tweeted in 2019 that he was done being told what to do. On October 18th, he sent out this tweet: "I'm tired of being told what to do," which is very blunt, very straightforward. We appreciate that, Daniel. But it's a little clue that at that time, back in 2019, he was still unhappy with management, and it seems like it's been years that they've had issues with their managers. There's one more guy I want to talk to you guys about, and his name is Evan. He's not actually part of this band, but he is good friends with them, and they share management. And at one point, he went on an Instagram live, and he was like shaving off his mustache, because I guess Randy made him do it. And he says Randy, you mother effer, which it was kind of funny to watch. But I want to play that clip for you guys, because it doesn't seem like Randy is well liked.
Hey, this is not my choice. The label didn't like the chops, which I just didn't get at all, because it was obviously a f***ing vibe. Here we go, Randy, if you're watching this is for you. Mother.
Now let's go back to the band, because one of the band members, named Jack, used to date this girl named Gabby. I'm not entirely sure if they still date, but Gabby went to TikTok one time because I guess maybe they had a pregnancy scare or something, and they shared that if she were to get pregnant, that Jack's management would make her get rid of the baby because it could harm Jack's image in the boy band. These images were taken from her TikTok. He wrote, "I know it's unfair that you have to hide it. I wish I could do something to help. I hate seeing you like this. The things I hear that they say about you break my heart. They said if you had told them sooner, they would have forced you to get the surgery to remove it. Like, who the F says that? I just can't imagine what you're going through." Here's another screenshot from her TikTok, and she writes, "I can't even choose when I get to announce my own child that I'm going to give birth to. After all of this, I continued getting used and lied to." It is so scary to think that these management companies truly believe that they control these people's lives. Like, if you were to be with some girl and you are in that band group, then the production record label company is also going to control her life and tell her what to do with her body. That just seems way too far to me. And obviously, this management company has crossed the line to the point where these boys are not physically healthy. They can't even go and get a freaking salad without being told off by. So I didn't know who this band was until I did the research on this, but I stand with them, and I believe that they need to be freed from their management, and not only from David, but from Randy as well. There are some extremely dark people in Hollywood, and they have far too much power over these people's lives, and I hope that this band continues to speak out against them. And if any other information comes out, I'll be on it. So if you guys have any other video ideas for me, here's my email below. Again, we need to stand with this band and show them support, because I mean, anyone can be harmed at the end of the day by the industry, and the fact that they are boys and they're a band, it really doesn't change anything at all, because 5 of these guys were locked into this house with all of this security, isolated from their friends and their family. They weren't given substantial food. Like, there's a lot wrong with this situation here, and we need reform in Hollywood. So I'm glad that they're speaking out, and I encourage them to speak out even further so they can actually get this David guy out of the room, and maybe even Randy as well. But let's go ahead and open this P.O. Box package item. It looks like it's from Finally at Peace, Irisdenia. And it looks like she's actually on the East Coast, so cool, or he. Sorry, I'm over here just assuming. Let's go ahead and open this package. If you guys have any thing you'd like to send me, my P.O. Box package address is listed below. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, so it looks like maybe there's a letter inside here. It says, "Finally at peace, I'm really in space." Aw, cute. And it has a nice box. So let's go ahead and see what's in here. Looks like she's got, or they've got a letter. I keep saying she. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Okay. "Thank you for always making my day. I just started my small business and wanted to send you some of my products, which I hope you'll love. My website is finallyatpeace.company.site. I'll list that below. Again, thank you for always making my day with your videos." Aw, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's go ahead and see what they sent me. So it looks like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So, what is going on here? Okay, so it looks like we have maybe some soap situation right here, which, oh, you guys know I love soap, so I'm always so down for a soap bar. And ooh, this is so cool. It's like purple, but then it has a green look kind of like thing inside of it. Wow, I love this, and it smells so good. Oh my gosh, now that I take a better look at it, I'm like, I think this is a stone. Like, I think that's a crystal inside of it, because it even looks like this crystal bracelet, which, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It kind of not to hype myself up, but it's what I imagine my eye color to be, kind of maybe a little bit more blue. But wow, oh, this is so cool. They go together. I'm like, this should be an ad, honestly. And then it looks like they also sent me some stones right here. This one looks, I think this is actually called a tiger one, but I'm not entirely sure. And there's this one here. So thank you so much. Definitely go check out their shop below. I'm so excited for them. Congrats on your small business. I'm wishing you all the success. So definitely go check out and support, and I will see you guys in a new video soon. Bye, guys.